Uh, Welcome to one and all. So today class we are going to see about the subject and operating systems. In that and operating systems, today we are going to see the specific topic and open source operating systems. Yes. So here open source operating system means, so in this we can able to learn about and how we can able to use this and open source operating systems with its workings and advantages and disadvantages and some of the best and open source operating systems. So actually, so what is the meaning of an open source? So usually, so in software field, so suppose if we want to use any of the software, first we need to pay the licensed amount. So without spending an amount, we cannot able to use the software. So whatever we want to use, we need to pay some of the amount for getting the license. So in order to rectify from this and problems, so the open source has been introduced. So here, what is mean by an open source operating system? Yes, the term open source refers to a computer software and application where the owners or an copyright holders enable the users to a third party to use, see and edit the product source code. So here open source means the third party can able to give the authoritative permissions to use the particular softwares, and they can able to use the software, they can able to see what is available in the software, and they can able to edit the product source code. Next point, the source code of an operating system is publicly visible and editable. So you can able to, everyone can able to view or use or see the code, and it can able to be editable. Suppose if you want to do some of the changes, we can able to do the changes, right? The usually operating systems such as an Apple's iOS, Microsoft Windows and an Apple's Mac OS are closed operating systems. So these are called an closed operating systems. Next one, open source operating system topic. So here the open source software is a license in such a way that it is permissible to produce as many copies where we can able to where we want to use and them wherever you like. So here if you using an open source, we can able to have a number of products where we can able to take many copies of that from that original. So here we can able to generally we can able to use an fewer resources than its commercial counterpart because it lacks any code for licensing, promoting other products, authentication, attaching advertisements, etc. So these are the various applications where we can able to use from the open source operating systems. Next one, open source software is licensed in such a way that it is permissible to produce many copies as you want them to use wherever you like to. So if after creating a number of copies, we can able to use as per our own convenience wherever it is needed, right? So it generally uses fewer resources than its commercial counterpart because it lacks any code for licensing, promoting other products and authenticating, attaching and advertisements, etc. So here we can able to use this for a commercial purpose. So by using an open source, we can able to make this for a commercial purpose also. So here we are lack of using the licensing, promoting other products. So these are the lack. So then we can able to do the lacking for an authentications and an attaching and advertisements, etc. Next one, we can able to see about a multiple processor scheduling in operating systems. So what is mean by a multiple processor scheduling? So by seeing the name itself, you can able to know that, and in this we can able to use a multiple processor, right? So multiple processor scheduling or a multi-processor scheduling focus on designing the system's scheduling functions which consist of more than one processor. So here if you are able to use only on one processor, so it will be having a much less advantages than when we are using for a multiple processor. Next, multiple CPUs shares the load sharing in multi-processor scheduling so that various processors run simultaneously. Yes, so what is the concept of a multiple processor means? So here we can able to use a multiple processor, so that and we can able to have an multiple scheduling based on the various processors run simultaneously. In general, multi-processor scheduling is complex as when compared to a single processor scheduling. So if we are using a single processor scheduling, we don't have any complexities as when we are comparing a multi-processor scheduling. So here multi-processor scheduling means, so we are using a more than one processor is called as a multi-processor scheduling. Thank you, Ananda.